Hi there! Welcome to the session on the 4-piece Case Referral Pathways or CRP. By this time, you are going to learn how to handle special and difficult cases by understanding the case referral pathways. This lecture is still part of Module 3, KU Implementation Phase. Previously, you've learned about Session Grievance Redress System, which highlights the Ease of Doing Business and Anti-Red Tape Act and the rules on exemption to program conditions. From the previous sessions, we understood that there are special and difficult cases that are being reported through our grievance redress desk. The grievance officer shall thereafter refer the case to the assigned case manager for appropriate action and referral. The succeeding topic on rules on exemption to program conditions explained to us that high-risk cases, including special and difficult ones, shall be exempted to program conditions following the process discussed to you. This module therefore would like to, number 1, elaborate the reporting process within 4Ps and its referral to the receiving LGU. Number 2, determine the specific roles and functions of the social service workforce. And number 3, identify the accompanying supportive and psychosocial interventions they offer to holistically manage the case. Case referrals is one of the most significant and critical features of Kilos-Unlad as it interplays with other tasks. It also cuts across the entire process because the need to refer cases may happen anytime. You as the case manager therefore has to be skilled on proper coordination and collaboration with other members of the social service workforce. This is to maximize efforts and provide immediate action to avoid further harm or abuse to the beneficiary of concern. To refresh you, case management is defined by the 4Ps law as a process to enable the household beneficiaries to improve their functioning by dealing with their difficulties, specifically in complying with the terms of the program. The law recognized that special and difficult cases or peculiar situations are beyond the control of the household beneficiaries. Therefore, appropriate case management, including referral, has to be provided. The CRP is the mechanism established in the program to link and refer urgent cases requiring immediate intervention such as reporting and litigation, protective custody, and medical and psychosocial support, among others. Cases requiring referrals includes cases mentioned in the risk level categorization. Recently, the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program has developed a set of interventions for children who are not attending school through the Bata Balik Eskwela or BBE initiative. BBE initiative intends to reach out to the children not attending school or the NAS cases with a total number of 1,125,293 as of period 5 in 2018, where 14% of whom were for case management. The goal of case management is to help NAS cases enroll back to formal or non-formal school or refer them for other possible productive options. The initiative also considers the NAS family situation that may also be difficult and problematic, thus appropriate case management interventions should be identified. Aside from NAS cases, Pantawid Pamilya field workers also handle special and difficult cases which may be embroiled with gendered vulnerabilities and at worst, gender-based violence. In fact, our data show that among the reasons for dropouts are children protection issues and gender-based violence experienced by the children beneficiaries. This reality prompted the program to develop the Pantawid case referral pathways for 8 case categories as follows. Number 1, rape. Number 2, abandonment and neglect. Number 3, child labor. Number 4, violence against women and their children. Number 5, child in conflict with the law. Number 6, teenage pregnancy. Number 7, undocumented marriage and birth. And number 8, women unemployment. CRP shall showcase progress of the case from entry points to case resolution with corresponding timeline. It shall convene members of the social service workforce such as the local multidisciplinary teams or MDT to pool appropriate and effective strategies to respond to various glaring child protection and gender-based violence cases among 4Ps households. It will promote complementation of services accompanied with preventive, promotive, and responsive interventions. This mechanism will appropriately address the evolving needs and unique situations of household beneficiaries to ensure compliance and positive growth while in the program. To demonstrate how CRP works, we shall discuss the case referral pathway for rape. You may refer to the CRP handbook for the complete discussion of the remaining pathways for the 7 case categories. A victim survivor may disclose to anyone. They could be the trusted family member or a friend, a teacher, or any authority. For this particular exercise, let us assume that the mother of the victim asked the help of the parent leader to report the alleged rape to you as their case manager. Following the case referral pathway for rape, here are the steps. Step 1. Verify the household. After receiving the report, the case manager shall verify first if the household is a beneficiary of the program. If no, the case manager shall provide initial supportive response such as assessing the client's safety and risk issues and immediate referral to the receiving local social service department. If yes, then proceed to Step 2. Step 2. Conduct intake interview. If it is from a 4-piece household, then the case manager shall conduct home visit to assess the safety and risk issues requiring immediate attention such as protective custody and medical emergencies. If the victim survivor is ready to speak to you, conduct the intake interview. Remember, it is not your duty to investigate or validate the case. Step 3. Encode to GIRS and request for exemption to program conditions. The case manager shall encode to the grievance in the CM Form No. 2 or the GBB case intake sheet, request exemption to program conditionality and simultaneously facilitate case referral. Step 4. Referral to the receiving local social welfare office. Since rape allegations has to be reported within 48 hours, the case manager shall immediately refer the case to the local social welfare office. The case manager shall submit a referral letter along with the case intake form. The case manager shall copy furnish the same document to his or her case supervisor or the social welfare officer 3 for monitoring and mentoring purposes. In cases that the case manager is not yet trained to provide initial response to special and difficult cases, the social welfare officer 3 shall take over the case. Step 5. Case manage. The local social welfare office shall manage the cases in coordination with the Pantawid case manager and the members of the social service workforce, in particular the members of the multidisciplinary team. Step 6. Establish a multidisciplinary team. The city or municipal SWDO shall then plan and provide immediate intervention in consultation with the members of the MDT. Immediate interventions may include legal counseling, filing of case in court, medico-legal, therapeutic counseling, protective custody, among others. He or she shall also call for a multidisciplinary case conference which includes the tribal chieftain if applicable. While the case is ongoing, it is the responsibility of the Pantawid case manager to monitor and provide case updates to the local social welfare office and vice versa. A few important notes. Cases involving IPs should be coordinated and validated with the tribal chieftain. Rape is a criminal offense. It should not be settled within the tribe or barangay. It must be reported. In cases where the victim survivor is a child, here are the child protection protocols that a Pantawid worker should observe in working with children and families. Number 1. Build rapport and safe environment for the child. Do not force the child to speak up. Ask only relevant questions. Don't make the person in need repeat their story. Number 2. Do not laugh. Show disrespect or disbelief. Never blame the child. Number 3. Do not oblige the child to submit to medico-legal procedures if it is against his or her will. Remember that medico-legal is not the primary evidence in court. Rather, it's the child's statement. Number 4. Children who are sexually abused usually have some touching issues, so avoid touching the child if not necessary. Number 5. Avoid being alone with the child. Number 6. Explain briefly the case process. Prepare the child for what will happen next as he or she will be interviewed by the police for case filing. Number 7. No decision should be made without the informed consent of the child and his or her parents. Number 8. At all times, prioritize the safety and security of the person in need as well as involve staff, volunteers, and service providers. Number 9. Always observe confidentiality, safety, respect, and dignity. For more information, please refer to the Case Referral Pathway Handbook. We also prepared answers to some of the most frequently asked questions to guide you better. Before we end, let us quickly review the key concepts discussed in this lecture. Each CRPs have their respective roadmaps, proposed psychosocial interventions, timelines, and responsible persons to guide the case managers in working with the social service workforce. For child rape, there are safeguard protocols that has to be observed to keep the safety of both the child and you as the case manager. Thank you for listening.